Lord Xerus, Lord Xerus, Lord Xerus, Lord Xerus, Lord Xerus.
Hello, my good gentles. I'm Lord Xerus, and welcome back to my shed. Today, we're going to be doing a little bit of custom work on my breastplate here. Now, I did recently get a comment from someone telling me that I had too much breastplate and it was too big, and that I should order one from eBay that's got a little bit more room up in the upper chest here. Now, a couple of parts of that critique were correct, because when I first originally commissioned this breastplate, the front of it was way too long, and I gave the armor the wrong measurement, and I ended up actually having to cut it, like a good inch out of the middle of it, and then bolt it back together in order to actually get it to fit more correctly, and to give me more freedom of movement. And of course, the armor was also kind of learning, and so the armor did not give me enough arm room and armholes. So as a consequence, when I fight, when I try to flex my arms, I can't really do that. It really limits the movement of my arms. So I decided there's probably time to cut out the armholes a little bit. What I'm not going to do is order a breastplate off of eBay to replace this, because this is a custom-made breastplate made out of hardened steel. So a breastplate from eBay is not going to cut it. So you can see here that I've marked up my breastplate with Sharpie, which I'm sure doesn't offend anyone and isn't a horrifying experience for any proud armor owner to just write with markers on your armor. Anyway, so you can see here I've made a plan. I've made a couple of different alternate lines here. Some of them encompass a large area, some of them encompass a slightly smaller area, and I do think that the larger area is a little bit too much. I don't want to cut off all of this. This armor has a really nice rolled edge, so it's going to be a shame to lose that, because that's a really premium finish on the armor. That's a good safety feature there. When we cut through that, we're going to be exposing the narrowest part of the metal. So we're going to be, basically removing this feature. So in order to mitigate that, I went out and found some cardor edging to put in there. So today we're going to be using, and I think that I speak for everyone when I say our favorite tool, our angle grinder. All right, guys, safety first. Let's get grinding. Yeah, okay, not very beautiful. We didn't do a super good job. I mean, I did manage to keep more or less the line I wanted to. You can see how jagged this is as little strips of metal. That's super dangerous. We really don't want that cutting the arteries in our arm. All right, we're gonna use our flap wheel to clean up this really jagged, really sharp mess. Alright, our edges actually aren't looking that bad. What I thought was a splinter is actually part of the rounded edge here. It's looking a little better than I had imagined. But it's still a little rough, so we're going to hit it with another flap wheel. It's a little bit finer grit. Alright, so there's a little burr here. I have to get rid of it entirely because that space in between the two little parts of metal there are just kind of a hazard. So I'm going to have to cut this off at the source. So this edge is looking pretty good. It's not completely mechanically round, but that's okay. It's nice and smooth. It doesn't feel sharp. It's not catching. Doesn't seem like it's doing anything too bad. So now I'm gonna go ahead and try to put this edging on. That's gonna be kind of tricky because I'm gonna try to negotiate both the edging and then also the glue at the same time. This glue, which I've never used before, but from my understanding is actually very hard. Bonds very well. So let's see how that works out. Actually, not sure how I'm going to do this. Well, first thing I guess is cut out the length of this stuff. So from there to there. I'm surprised I was able to grind this off without even affecting that leather strap there. Hopefully I don't cut it by accident now. That would be a big blooper. All right, well, I'll just cut it down to a manageable length and then cut the rest later. There we go. Okay, sorry. Okay, so I had a bit of an emergency here. I opened the glue, and I keep misremembering what kind of glue this is and how it actually looks when you pour it out. I keep thinking it was kind of like a white craft glue, but this is actually a very clear, almost like looks like an epoxy or something. So actually, I'm just gonna go ahead, because this is already pouring out of here like crazy. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this to the side of the armor here. I don't think I can control this at all. This kind of just wanted to come out on its own, so much so that I think I'm gonna have to get a paper towel and clean this nozzle off. Oh shoot! See, doing it again. I went to go focus the camera, and this stuff is like coming out all over the place. So it's kind of a little. Oh man. Okay. So it's getting everywhere. This might even be curing too fast for me to even work with. I'm making a big mess. That's how we do it here in Lord Xerxes' castle. Or a shed, rather. Oh, I'm making a huge mess. Okay, now I need a paper towel. Paper towel, clean off that nozzle. This stuff really binds. So much so that I actually had to use a pair of pliers to open it again, because it had already dried on there. So, alright, well, we made a big mess, so might as well just put our edging on. I didn't want to do this, but I made a big mess. See, I had to put the edging on all the way here and then scrape it all the way down there, which is totally the wrong thing. Didn't want to do that because now there's no glue on this side. The two surfaces of the edging are so tight together that you can pry them open, but then they close back up again. So it's really hard to get that on there in a timely manner. This is already jacked. I might as well just cut a new piece. Alright, so I'm taking a pair of scissors and prying these open. Oh, it didn't even work. Okay, finally managed to get this on. Got glue all over my hands. Glue all over the armor. But you know what? The upshot is that this stuff actually looks indistinguishable from the metal. This looks like a rolled edge. It's actually kind of incredible. Now, the only issue here is that the glue is going to dry and it's going to look all clumpy and gross. But it'll come off over time with repeated polishings and cleanings with CLP. It looks like it's pretty easy just to scrape off of a flat surface. There we go. Yeah, okay, it's coming off. Okay, crisis averted. As it dries up, it kind of gets rubbery and it peels off really easily, so that's good. Now, the only question is, how well is this glue going to hold this edging in place? You know, it's one thing, to affix it to something that doesn't move, but this is going to be under my armpit all day, so we'll see how that holds up. But, I mean, look at that. That's, like, indistinguishable from the rolled metal, from the rolled edge. It looks really great. I'm surprised. I'm really pleased and surprised by this. Can't even tell that it's been altered here. Well, it's getting late. It's getting dark out, and the raccoon is coming out from the tree. So, I think it's time to wrap this up for right now, and then we'll pick up and do the other side tomorrow. All right, guys? Let's trim this. There we go. Yeah. Nice. Let's see if I can get a shot of that raccoon. All right, guys. It's a new day. The sun is out. It's construction o'clock, because I can hear construction noises everywhere. So, let's get back to it, okay? removed our part. Everything's looking pretty good. Now we need to still cut down this little snippet here that's part of the folded edge. And you see that we've got these really sharp metal splinters here. Want to get rid of those. I'm going to use our flap wheel to cut these down again. So there's just a couple of things left to do. First one is to trim the edging right here. Pretty much perfect. And then the other is to clean up our metal. Yeah, this glue definitely seems to be very similar in consistency to rubber cement, at least up to a point. I don't know how hard the glue actually gets over time. That has yet to be seen. We got all the excess glue rubbed off here. There's a couple of different things that people use to clean armor. So far, my favorite has been CLP. It's kind of an all-in-one solution. As the name indicates, it's Clean Lube Protect. I like it because it works exactly the way, what it's called. It cleans up metal, it removes rust. After you've cleaned it, got a polymer layer on there that kind of coats the metal for a while. And I'm pretty confident it's going to be able to take off this Sharpie here. Yeah, it's coming right off. Now I want to try to avoid saturating this edging with the CLP, because I'm also pretty sure that the CLP will probably eat through the glue over time. There was a time when I was trying to fix this little brass star on here. You can see the brass is starting to crack over time, because brass is not a very tough metal. So the bottom of the star broke off here, and so I tried to use different glues to try and glue it down, because it was bending up like this, come off like this every time I'd get a hit. And so I tried to glue it down with a few different glues. I used Gorilla Glue and I used epoxy, but nothing really worked all that well. Glue just not good on armor, especially when you're always lubricating it and stuff. Glue just doesn't really stand the test of time. Hopefully this will be a little bit different, because this is, covered. So it's not quite exposed to all the same elements. We still got some Sharpie over here. Get rid of that Sharpie. I knew that Sharpie would come off no problem, so I didn't have any qualms about drawing on the armor with Sharpie, because I knew it would just come right off. If anything, the armor actually gummed up the Sharpie. So, take that, Sharpie. Okay, looking spiffy. Nice. Alright, so, with the breastplate done, what I'd like to call attention to now is my gorget. When I'm wearing my armor, I actually can't throw my arms all the way up, because I realize that my gorget is actually limiting my movement. All the weight from the breastplate and the arms and everything is on my shoulders, and the weight of it is keeping this down. And then when I move my shoulders up, the throat part of the gorget goes up and basically being held down by my throat and by my chin. So in order to kind of mitigate that, what I'm going to do is make this a little bit narrower. I want to cut the sides off here, because the more there is on the sides, the more there is to come in contact with the slope of my shoulders. I don't know if this will necessarily be enough, but it should help a little bit. And also, cutting off the front corners here should also limit, how they collide with my shoulders. I may end up also even cutting more off the front. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided. I decided I'll give this cut a try. I'll also cut some off the back here. I feel like this gorget also gives, excellent clavicle protection, and I don't necessarily want to give that up. It's kind of a two-way street here. I get rid of some of this length, and I give up a little bit of clavicle protection, but then I gain some mobility. So I figured I'd just start, by narrowing this down. Looks like we got our Gorget smoothed out pretty well. I guess the next logical thing to do is to try it on to see if it restricts my movement any less now. Alright, so I've got my Gorget on. I'm ready to try my arm movement here. And, okay, well, it actually feels a little better. I do think that this is an improvement over what it used to be. I didn't show you how it was before, so you're just going to take my word for it now. But I do feel like this is an improvement. Now, you know, this Gorget is still pretty wide. I could cut it down more, but that would involve drilling another hole for these straps and moving them closer to my neck. And as you can see, the straps are already pretty close to my neck, and so much so that they're impeding the movement of my helmet. So I don't know if that's really going to be a good option right now. So what I'm going to do is just, for the time being, I'm just going to leave it the way it is and see how everything feels in the field together with the changes to my breastplate and to the Gorget. But I'm already thinking that this is going to have a better experience and I have a lot more range of movement. Do the Superman. Wave your hands in the air like fish don't care. All right, guys. So it feels good to finally get that off my chest. Now, every bit of armor we remove is a weight savings, although I don't think this doesn't feel very significant. Every little bit helps, though. So, you know, I actually did initially have the idea of cutting these large enough so that I could bolt them back onto the plate and therefore not have to worry about replacing this rolled edge here. But I don't know, that kind of felt like a contrivance, and, you know, that would end up adding more weight, and I wanted to avoid that. So I think things turned out rather nicely here. Now, in trying this on here, and I try to close my arms, I still run into a little obstruction here, but it's not as significant as it was before. So it's a little easier for me to close my arms like this. Now, I think the next step is going to be replacing some of this kit with titanium, because the steel is kind of turning out to be a little bit heavy overall. I do have some new gear that's coming down the pipes, and I think you'll be very excited when you see it. So I'm excited to share it with you. So stay tuned, okay? I think tonight's practice is going to be the perfect time and place to see how these modifications affect our performance. All right, well, let's go. How's it go? Still got creamed, but this one opened better. Alright guys, well I think I'm going to end the video there today. So I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget our motto. Don't be afraid to suck. And I'll see you on the battlefield. I'm gonna clean all this stuff up now.